Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and we have some pretty big stuff today. So there has been a project called RECUR. Gary Vee is a big investor in that project, and people are worried that it's going to displace VeVe. It's going to take a lot of their market share away. So we're going to be going through that. We're also going to be kind of using a few case studies as well, just to see what could potentially happen to VeVe. And lastly, my thoughts, and then we'll wrap up with the price of OMI for today. So RECUR, if we go straight to their website now, the project itself, it makes sense because again, they are kind of doing what VeVe has done in a similar way, but I think they're trying to target and address some of VeVe's weaker points. But right now the website is quite bare, there's not too much on it. You can kind of go to their blog, which takes you to the Medium article. So if we go there, we had this recent post where they raised $50 million in a Series A fundraising round. So they talk a lot about the metaverse. So a lot of companies are using this word metaverse because it is trending. But they talk about, the total valuation they've raised. They talk about, some of their investors, which do include, some pretty big names. And then they kind of go into this concept where, they're trying to get premium licenses. They're going to be doing game design, development, blockchain engineering, which, you expect for an NFT company. And then they talk about how they want to bring on board scale for 1 billion users, which is very, very optimistic. So here it says, at RECUR we imagine a future where NFTs can be taken anywhere as tokens of personal expression, community membership and fandom, among so many other use cases. We want fans to own pieces of stories and IP they love, with real value retained across any future chain. Further, we see a future where the standard for decentralized recurring royalty is embedded, giving the creator due credit as assets are exchanged over and over again forever. So what they've described, to me, it feels like, on the face value, it feels like what VeVe is currently doing, but perhaps they have got additional utility which they haven't kind of revealed, which falls under this umbrella that VeVe doesn't have, and so that's going to be kind of their USP. So just from their backing, what they're doing, I think they'll be successful, but are they going to displace VeVe? That would depend on how much more they can differentiate themselves, because if they're kind of doing what VeVe's doing, then I don't think they're going to be displacing VeVe. If they have something unique, some USP that VeVe doesn't have, then yes, there may be a new niche that they could capture that VeVe doesn't currently appeal to, and then by extension they could perform as good, maybe even better than VeVe, who knows. But at present, from what I've read, what I've seen so far, I don't think that they are a major threat to VeVe. However, this was recently announced. Hello Kitty is becoming an NFT. SANRIO is partnering with the NFT company RECUR to offer digital collectibles featuring the beloved character beginning next year. So SANRIO partnership with RECUR is confirmed. They will be offering Hello Kitty and I assume other SANRIO characters as NFTs with RECUR, and SANRIO is one of the biggest IPs in the world, so this is huge. If they have SANRIO, then other IPs such as DC, Marvel, those aren't too far off the tracks. So they talk here, Hello Kitty NFT will join other popular characters that RECUR has bought last month, and RECUR partnered to turn IP such as SpongeBob SquarePants and Spock from Star Trek into NFTs. So we can see here they have CBS, Nickelodeon. These are quite popular IPs. We saw Star Trek recently on VeVe, so it looks like these licenses are not exclusive. However, what can they do with those licenses? Are they able to reproduce the 3D AR VR assets? That we will have to wait and see. However, is this something of concern? Well, let's just take a look back. Let's go back a bit in time. So this little screenshot here is back from the VeVe trademark documentation from way back, and this was way before Marvel was announced, Star Wars was announced. This is back when we were kind of just about getting the DeLorean drop. So at the time they showed Superman, they showed Ant-Man, Marvel here, and at the bottom we have the Star Wars pod racer. At the time, people were saying VeVe is allowed to use, images of IP they don't own because, as long as they're not making profit from it. Well, all of these IPs, Star Wars, Marvel, etc., this was all confirmed later on that they had it. So why is this important? Why is it relevant? Well, OMI on their YouTube channel, they've deleted quite a few videos, and one of the videos they deleted was featuring this. So this is from the OMI Collect app, which we now know as VeVe, and they were demonstrating a bunch of 2D collectible characters. The reason these were 2D is VeVe was initially, or OMI Collect as they called it back then, was initially a 2D collectible app, not a 3D collectible app. And so they featured the characters that we can see now in 2D format, and Hello Kitty featured in quite a few of them. So what does that imply? If what we see holds true, if the IP that they kind of showed off in their promotional content back then, we now see that they did have it. The only one that I can see here that they showcased that we haven't seen yet officially is Hello Kitty, or under the umbrella of SANRIO. So what I suspect is they actually already have SANRIO. They just haven't dropped it yet because it is a very big IP, and they kind of, are dealing with Marvel quite heavily right now. My prediction is they've got SANRIO already. They have the rights to create the 3D AR VR assets. What RECUR probably has is the rights to create maybe the 2D assets, or maybe SANRIO has licensed both of them to create 3D digital assets. Who knows? But am I worried that VeVe won't get SANRIO? No, I think they've already got it, and it's just a matter of time. It's just waiting for the right time to release it. Now, that being said, another NFT, another collectibles app, not quite NFTs yet, is Quid. And if we have a look here, Quid, they are already licensed to do Hello Kitty collectibles, along with, Adventure Time, which we've seen. They can do the Funko ones, and we know that Funko actually went with Wax quite recently. They can do Naruto and other big brands. So you can see, although they're collectibles aren't NFTs, and when I say they're not NFTs, as in these actually are not on blockchain, so you can see here, coming soon to the blockchain, they, still have appeal because they've got the IP for it. So that being said, IP is important, but IP doesn't necessarily have to be exclusive, so you do need another differentiating factor. I think VeVe's core differentiator is, the whole AR, VR concept. And they've got a very strong community behind it as well, so we'll just have to wait and see. Now, lastly, just the price of OMI for today. So, as we can see, OMI has been essentially just, declining quite heavily. So we essentially fell off a cliff here. If we have a look here, we drew a wedge, and the prediction was we will continue to trade sideways, and there was a chance for us to pop off, but as the buy and sell prices kind of squeezed here, we pretty much fell off a cliff. And I believe if you zoom out, we have the potential to come back down to this 0.55 cent region. I think that's unlikely, but I think all of this is related to the constant delays. In September we were expecting showroom version 2, we were expecting Mutable X, we were expecting MTL. Not because that's what we're expecting, but it's what was stated by the team on their social media accounts, and people kind of took that as, okay, it's definitely going to happen that time. October came around, nope. November came around, nope. Next week is going to be December. Will we see it happen then? Hopefully. But, the kind of missed deadlines you guys can kind of see. This was back in October time. We kind of had a downwards descending channel. And then we kind of got saved a bit with a bunch of announcements. And it looked like, it was going to happen. But then more delays and we're back to this downwards descending channel. I think we could potentially come down to here if we don't see what we're expecting next month. So yeah, I think OMI still is a very, very good buy. I may buy more at this 0.55 range because I don't think it's going to dip further below that. But I am trying to balance OMI with other investments, which are kind of in the blockchain based play to earn kind of niche. So yeah, I think in the midterm, OMI will recover. By then we will have the utility article and more utility, and then hopefully we can start seeing some real burn. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to go through with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Do check out the link below for the OMI Homie Community merch, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.